beautiful village in Tuscany, and we are going to visit one of the biggest Buddhist centers in Europe, Istituto Lama Tsongkapa. Lama, is the spiritual teacher. In Tibetan means Lama, and then Tsongkapa, is the founder of the Gelugpa tradition, to which the Dalai Lama belongs, and Choetsok means center. Choetsok is Buddhist center. So I will also teach you as we go some Tibetan words. So let's enter through the main entrance of the center. Follow me. Because here we find one of the first beautiful things, which is this wonderful portal that will enter us into this magical world of Tibetan Buddhism. Here we have a gyelgo. Gyelgo means basically a grand opening door with all these auspicious Tibetan signs that you see on the columns right and left, on the pillars. So let's move in, because when you enter here, you already find something very nice on your left-hand side, which we will get to in a moment. Okay, let's enter into the first part of the big mystery, which are these 4 stupas. The stupa is a monument, a sacred monument that is filled with relics, with jewels, with precious gems, and with a lot of mantra rolls. And that represents it's going to be consecrated once it's built. And that means blessed with a ritual, with a traditional ritual. And then these are representing the enlightenment of the Buddha and the whole process towards enlightenment. So you really see these gradual, also steps. So there's a lot of meaning connecting earth to heaven, and there's the sun and the moon at the top. It's imbued with meaning from the beginning till the end, and mainly it represents the whole path towards full liberation from suffering and to full growth of wisdom and insight. So basically enlightenment, that's what it is. And what it is said that being close to a stupa and making prayers and wishes here is a very, very, very strong, let's say, energetic field. So whatever you pray for here or make wishes for close to a stupa, they say that's going to reach fulfillment. So always be careful what kind of wishes you make close to a stupa. In Tibetan, stupa is called choten. Choten, which is a support for veneration and offerings. That's literally the meaning of choten. Stupa is a Sanskrit word, and what Tibetans love to do is circumambulations around these holy monuments, which are said to bring a lot of merit, which is basically positive energy that serves as fuel on the path towards enlightenment. Because, if you want to go to a certain place, you need a vehicle and you need fuel. So merit really is the fuel on this path, and the vehicle would be your practice. So what we're doing now is circumambulation, and in Tibetan, the circumambulation around holy sites is called kora, and you always do it in clockwise sense. So the Tibetan word is kora. Kora gyab. Kora gyab is the verb to do kora. Kora gyab. Kora gyab gyo. I do koras. And in fact, if you go to Nepal, to one of the great, sites where you have a big stupa such as in Bodhanath in the Kathmandu Valley, then you will see hundreds of Tibetan every day flooding in and going around the stupa in a clockwise sense, doing koras day and night, morning till evening, reciting prayers and mantras, and always concluding with a dedication at the end of the koras, dedicating the merit, as Tibetans do, for the benefit of all beings, so that they may all reach full enlightenment. And then, of course, something that you do at a holy site or close to a stupa is to make offerings. Offerings are something that in Buddhist tradition you do in order to accumulate positive energy, so-called merit. So one thing that we like to offer in Buddhism is incense, which in Tibetan is called pö. Pö, it's a high tone, pö. And one other traditional offering are, of course, candles. Traditionally in Tibet they were butter lamps made with butter, and today we have, of course, our kind of candles. So this is called chöme in Tibetan, which is the fire offering or the candle, the light offering. Chöme, also called marme, mainly chöme, but marme is the traditional meaning of butter lamp. The offerings are made to all the enlightened aspects so that they can generate an energy inside our mind stream so we can reach bit by bit our own full potential. One more object that you will find probably in most Buddhist centers is, of course, the very well-known and loved by all prayer flags. Ta-da-da-da! Prayer flags in Tibetan are called lungta. Lungta, which means wind horse. Lung is wind and ta is horse, because these prayer flags, they are said to carry into the universe the prayers, the mantras that are written, imprinted on these flags. So it's like with the wind, they are riding the wind and carrying the good energy, the good vibes, the good wishes into all directions. So these are lungta. And because we are in Tuscany, we have the lungta in between these wonderful olive trees, which of course is even more beautiful. But I guess all lungtas, wherever they are, they're always beautiful. So bringing so much color and good vibes. So this is lungta, the prayer flag. And now we will slowly move towards the main building, in which we will find the meditation hall, the dining hall. We will find the whole infrastructure for hosting participants and visitors. And then, of course, we have one more stupa. And because here you will find a lot of practitioners, some of them doing retreats, some of them studying full-time. You have this important street sign which should never be missing in a Buddhist center. So one more stupa and one more kora, of course, which should never miss. And from here, let's move slowly towards the main building. And we will have a wonderful wall painting that I'm going to show you in a second. Here we've got one of the favorite Buddhas or Bodhisattva forms of the Tibetan pantheon. Here we have the white Tara. White Tara, Tara is Sanskrit name of this Buddha or Bodhisattva. And in Tibetan, she's called Drölma. Drölma is the name in Tibetan for Tara, liberatress, Drölma. And this is the white Drölma, so it's the Drölma Karpo. Karpo is white, Drölma Karpo. And her name can also be abbreviated by putting these two words together, and then it's Drölkar. In fact, many Tibetan women are called Drölkar. So this is Drölkar, the white Tara. And she stands for long life. Here we have the green Tara, who in Tibetan is called Drölma Jangu. Drölma is Tara, liberatress, and Jangu means green. And she's prayed to and revered for her power to support us to quickly achieve enlightenment, and also for her protection, because she's the protectress of fear, from danger, from illness, from famines, wars, and also all kinds of other negative circumstances. This is the green Tara, Drölma Jangu. And look at this, we have another wonderful constellation of lungtas. Really nice one really, really big lungta that almost looks like a banner lungta. And then the ones you probably have seen more regularly. And I just love looking at the sky and seeing the birds fly over these lungtas. Such a sense of peace and calm. Of course, In the Buddhist center, you will find representations of the Buddha. So I want to teach you the word for Buddha in Tibetan, because Buddha is Sanskrit, that means the awoken one, the one who has woken up. And in Buddhism, in Tibetan, it's called Sangye. Sangye is the Buddha, the one who woke up and who developed all qualities is the Sangye, the Buddha. And in front of the Buddha, sometimes you find more offerings, which are here in this case the traditional water bowls, the water offering. And the water offering in Tibetan is called Yönchap. Yönchap. Yönchap, the water offering. And this is something really special to this center here, because such a huge statue of Chenrezi, of course, you hardly find that. I haven't seen it anywhere in Europe other than here. Perhaps in France there are some centers which have big statues, but I have it only seen here. Or in Kathmandu Valley, there are wonderful big statues like this, actually even bigger. Here, first word I want to teach you is statue. Statue in Tibetan is kundra. 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 And this is Avalokiteshvara. In Tibetan, you always show when you point to a Buddha or Bodhisattva with your flat hand. You actually don't ever do this kind of pointing. It's more respectful to do this. So this is Avalokiteshvara, which is Sanskrit for what in Tibetan is Chenrezig. Chenrezig. Chenrezi or Chenrezik, based on who says it. Sometimes you hear the final Ka, Chenrezik, or sometimes you don't hear it, Chenrezi. So this is the Buddha or Bodhisattva of compassion, the embodiment of love, the embodiment of compassion, called Chenrezi in Tibetan. Here we have a little pavilion and a little inscription at the top, which is the mantra of the green Tara in Tibetan, letters Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. That's the mantra. The syllables are actually in Sanskrit, but the letters are here in Tibetan, because Tibetan can represent Sanskrit mantras with their own letters. So that's what we see here, Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha or Soha. And then we have a wonderful big mantra wheel, prayer wheel. In Tibetan, this is called Mani Korlo. Mani refers you to mantra, and Korlo is wheel. Actually, Mani is referring a short name for the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra of Chenrezi in Tibetan. The short version of this mantra, when they want to refer to it, they just say Mani. But this wheel does not only contain mantras of Chenrezi, but mantras of all sorts. And then when you spin it, it is said that, again, it's almost like these mantras are being read and generating an energy field. So people turn it and walk around, and it's just called Mani Korlo. So Mani referring generally to mantras, but just for you to know, Mani as a specific name outside of the context of the mantra wheel is referring to the 6-syllable mantra of Chenrezi. Om Mani Padme Hum. And then we can also do a kora, a circumambulation here. And that's, again, a very, very traditional thing to do. And it's really pacifying, actually. It feels very calming and soothing. And now we are slowly moving into the main building. I'm looking over for some shadow. It's really hot here at the end of May. We are filming this. And here you see the Dalai Lama, who is, of course, very close to the center, has been here on multiple occasions. This is a center of the Gelugpa tradition, and in particular, it belongs to the FPMT centers founded by Lama Zopa Rinpoche and Lama Yeshe. So now let's have a look inside. Let's go on. We are here in this little Tuscany-style building, which you can recognize a little bit from the shapes of the walls. And here we have some images of the important masters of the center. We have of course, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and then Geshe Jampa Gyatso, who was the Lama and Geshe here for 27 years. And we will move on to the second floor to get to the meditation hall. Now we are in front of the meditation hall, where also the study courses of the basic and the master programs are running, where people from all over the world come to study here for 4 or 7 or maybe even 11 years to follow in-depth studies of Tibetan Buddhist philosophy. So here you see that the temple is very classically ornamented in Tibetan style with a lot of so-called tankas. Tankas are all these wall images, representations of masters and Buddhas. And when you traditionally enter a temple in the Tibetan Buddhist community, actually in all Buddhist traditions, you first do 3 prostrations to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha, the Sangha, the Dharma, the Chö, and the Sangha being the Gendun. Did I do 3 or 2 now? Okay, 3 says the cameraman. So now here we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And I want to teach you also in Tibetan the name of the Dalai Lama, because there are various ways of how you can address him. First of all, what they say is they call him Kongsa Chok, Kongsa Chok. And that's one of the most used names for the Dalai Lama, Kongsa Chok. And then the other one that they use is Gyelwa Rinpoche. And then sometimes he's also called Yishin Norbu, wish-fulfilling jewel. Kongsa Chok is sort of like His Holiness, maybe we can translate it like that. And then Gyelwa Rinpoche would be victorious, precious one. And then Yishin Norbu means wish-fulfilling jewel. And along with him, you can see to both sides the shrine with various masters of the Gelugpa tradition. Here we have Tsongkapa in the middle. And then we have a photo of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who was together with Lama Yeshe, the founder of the FPMT centers. And then we have various statues of Thousand-Arm Cherezi, Tara, and the future Buddha, Maitreya. And here on the right-hand side of His Holiness, we have even more Buddhas and statues, representations, tankas here. We have Buddha Maitreya. I suppose this is because Buddha Maitreya is always depicted sitting on a chair, but perhaps this could also be Buddha Shakyamuni, actually, I'm not sure. Then here we have Manjushri, in Tibetan Jampelyang, the Buddha of wisdom, with the sword that cuts through ignorance. Manjushri, Jampelyang. And then we have the wonderful 21 Taras, which are all green Taras, the 21 main emanations of green Tara. And of course all the offering bowls and the offerings, Yönchap, Pö, and so on, the Chöme. And we see here the place of the students also, where the students sit during the lectures. And now we are going to leave the meditation hall. By the way, meditation hall in Tibetan is called Lakang. Lakang, which means the house of the gods, which here refers, of course, to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Lakang. That's meditation hall. temple. And to conclude, we are back out. We are in one of my favorite parts, which is the little wooden cabinets where participants or students are hosted, where they can sleep, and sometimes even people do retreat here. So these are these wonderful wooden houses in the middle of the olive grove, typical for Tuscany. A lot of jasmine flowers right and left that are right now blossoming, which is amazing. So this little tour ends here, my dear friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment, and if you want to know more about how to visit this wonderful place, look at the comment section below and the links in the caption. Thank you so much for watching. Tu Jiche and Jae Lyong.